spooks in games. Let's start the list with a classic, Mike Toreno. Smooth, inscrutable, and morally pragmatic, he is a stereotypical covert operator who uses crime as a means to an end. When CJ first rescues him, he is immediately paranoid, pulling a gun on him. It's later revealed he is a drug supplier and leader of the Loco Syndicate. After the Loco Syndicate crack factory is destroyed in San Fierro, Toreno goes underground. He resurfaces again when he uses digitally distorted voice call to invite CJ to a ranch in Tierra Robata. Naturally, Carl is shocked by Toreno's survival and rebukes him as a mere drug dealer, but this is when Toreno reveals that he is, in fact, a government agent, and the cocaine distribution was to raise funds for overseas dictators. This heavily implies the alleged CIA ops in the Nicaraguan Contras' cocaine trafficking operations during the 80s in efforts to finance the Contra group. Although not explicitly stated, it's heavily implied Toreno is a CIA spook. Anyways, following this, he offers CJ a bargain. Do his dirty work, and he will ensure Sweet walks out free. He goes on to train CJ as a pilot in Verdant Meadows. He sends him on impossible jobs. He orders the NOE bombing. He sends CJ to stow away, sabotage, and steal a V/STOL. He puts CJ into extreme danger again and again, but in the end, he keeps the bargain. Sweet is released, and just like the spook he is, we never hear about him again. Toreno treats human life as variables in a calculation, kind of off like pawns in chess matches. He tests assets under pressure to measure their caliber. He sets bad people on other bad people and lets good people die when necessary. Though he knows of Frank Tenpenny and Eddie Pulaski's corrupt natures, Toreno does not use his power to stop them. One key observation here would be, he isn't corrupted, despite his reasonably large influence or power. He also dresses like a true spook, wearing the quintessential spy attire, a navy blue blazer, although with horrible lapels, a light blue dress shirt, a red regimental necktie, gray slacks, and black dress shoes. Only his aviators are missing. Alright, now enough about Toreno. Next, I would like to talk about a very obscure game, Saboteur. For those of you who don't know, this game is if GTA and Assassin's Creed had a baby. It tells the tale of an Irish mechanic and racer based on William Grover Williams. In-game, he is fighting the German occupation during World War II in France. In the game, he is eventually recruited by, you guessed it, Bishop. Bishop is the SOE leader operating in Nazi-occupied France. He runs SOE ops from Le Havre Chapel base. His crew includes agents Skylar Saint, Claire, and Will Cox. He is sardonic and emotionally restrained, never warm, never indulgent, his words carrying a cold edge that reflects his detachment. To put it in a way he would, he is at his core a ruthless utilitarian exploiting hatred, violence, and deception without hesitation, anything to get the job done. He is a genius handler as well. Identifying Devlin's particular skill set, he then uses him to put a serious dent in the plans of the occupation. He controls Sean by trading or withholding intelligence, most notably information about Kurt Dierker, to direct Sean's sabotage and assassination tasks. He only appears in mission briefings and cutscenes, provides objectives tied to SOE priorities, and remains deliberately anonymous. Bishop is treated as an alias, and no canonical civilian name or pre-war biography or personal history is revealed in the game. He dresses the part as well. He's in a dark jacket with matching trousers, sharp and close-fitted. The kind of thing that doesn't draw attention but quietly holds authority. Nothing flashy, no insignia or decoration, just muted layers that feel militaristic, practical, and meant to blend in rather than stand out. But he has taste as well. The clothes are tailored and carry a British aristocratic ambiance. He also drives a posh and unique Gutmann. It's brown with woodside panels and cannot be acquired in ordinary circumstances. Bishop's business is secrets, and according to a blog post from one of the game's developers, business is booming. Sadly, his true identity dies with the game and the studio. Up next, we have Karen Bowman. She is a lifeless cardboard cutout like many of the Breakpoint characters. Nor was she some exaggerated, invincible super commando heroine we often see in movies and games that try too hard. Born March 1st, 1975, grew up under a strict mother whose frightening tales comically left a lasting mark on her worldview. She served in the U.S. Air Force, reaching the rank of staff sergeant before being recruited by the CIA as a case officer. By 2008, she was stationed in Russia during the Arbatov coup, and later worked with Sam Fisher, who recommended her to Ghost Recon. In 2019, Bowman spearheaded Operation Kingslayer in Bolivia as the CIA liaison, leading efforts to dismantle the Santa Blanca cartel after the murder daughter of DEA agent Ricky Sandoval. She coordinated closely with Nomad's team, orchestrating fun-to-play missions against the cartel while maintaining rebel alliances. Bowman continued involvement in major covert ops, including Narco Road, Fallen Lord, and Motherland, often dealing with interagency tension. She has her quirks like her weird little crush on the singer, but overall she is a grounded case officer, albeit with a rather bland sense of humor. Willis Huntley is the kind of CIA guy who treats you like disposable tissue, comically manipulative, cold, and nearly impossible to trust. In both Far Cry 3 and 4, he embodies everything to hate about shadowy government operatives. Willis was born on Long Island, New York in 1965. His CV is pretty large. Willis Huntley participated in CIA operations to steer the governments of Iran, Iraq, and Somalia during his early career in the late 1980s. In Kairat, he conducted joint CIA-DEA operations to install deep cover operatives within Pagan Min's heroin trafficking organization. On the Rook Islands, he led a CIA team tasked with monitoring and eventually terminating drug and slave trafficker Hoyt Volker, armed with flashy threads and his signature aviators. Bud is cynically patriotic with a gloomy paranoid worldview. He isn't blind to this either, as he also displays an awareness and cynical view of himself when he describes that while he is a patriot, every patriot he knows is a son of a bitch. He is the guy you either love or want to beat with a bat. Tom Sheldon from the Just Cause series is an interesting guy. He's that part of the agency since the 60s. Stereotypically, he delivers freedom to countries which are not aligned with the states. Born in July 4, 1949 in Abilene, Texas. He is the stereotypical Texan with a soft spot for margaritas, hickory-smoked barbecue, shotguns, and his RV. From what we know, Sheldon chose military service to avoid a jail term, then went on to join the agency. He ran numerous dirty little black ops across Panau, Medici, and Solis. In Panau, Sheldon acted as the agency's man on the ground, running covert destabilization ops to overthrow dictator Baby Panay while secretly profiteering through black market arms and oil deals. Tom helped intercept Bavarium tech, nicked a cut in the Bavarium sea heist, and helped stop a Bavarium bomb from shipping out. In Solace, he resurfaced as Rico's ally, using his old agency contacts and smuggling network to help dismantle the Black Hand and expose Project Alapa, while still bending every rule in the book for his own gain. Sheldon became Rico Rodriguez's mentor and surrogate father recruiter, pilot, fixer, and occasional moral compass, though this last part is debatable. He is not a sociopath, but can be messy and morally flexible, the kind of fixer who'll do shady things for a kid he genuinely cares about. Sheldon needs further dissection for a better picture. Next up, we have Kate Laswell, aka Watcher One. Truth be told, she is pretty above the board officer. Calm, calculating, and empathetic. She was born in Annapolis, Maryland. She then graduated from Cornell with a degree in international affairs, earned a master's in strategic intelligence analysis, and even studied Near Eastern linguistics at the American University of Beirut. Laswell began her career as a communications analyst. Her earliest evaluations showed an advanced aptitude for strategic analysis. By the time we meet her, she has a pretty impressive portfolio, including her early work as a targeter in Pakistan, and later with Africa Command, proved she could survive chaos and turn it into leverage. Fast-tracked through the CIA, she took charge of black site programs, often clashing with politics but always delivering results. Laswell became the architect behind Task Force 141, orchestrating major ops like the takedown of Barkov, stopping Zakayev's nuke plot, and hunting Hassan Ziani. Unlike some other characters here, Laswell stays grounded. In short, she bends rules, not reality. Throughout the campaigns, Laswell is mostly humane, but probably due to her mundane nature and relatively lower screen time, she doesn't leave a deep mark. Now we switch to a different game. John Donovan from Mafia 3, Lincoln Clay's crooked guardian angel. Donovan is a criminally underrated character. He graduated from Princeton University in 1953 and right after was recruited into the CIA. Next in Vietnam, he ran covert ops and first linked up with Lincoln in April 1966. Donovan is a very seasoned veteran of intelligence tradecraft demonstrated when he practically ran Clay's entire operation against the Marcanos. He has the entire toolkit from running assets, setting up safe houses, stealing surveillance gear, and to building networks of informants. Donovan is also deeply patriotic and somewhat idealistic. This would eventually push him to hunt for ex-friend Connor Aldridge. He has a charm sprinkled with ruthlessness, wearing the same polished two-piece for most of his field work. While his actions might make him sound psychopathic, I believe that's not entirely the case, as he deeply cares about Lincoln immediately shifting to the city after Clay was mortally wounded. In short, Donovan is the perfect noir handler. and personally the most believable spy of this list. Russell Adler. He is my personal favorite. A scarred CIA operative wrapped in mystery, who to me is the ultimate spy. Little is known about this enigmatic super spy. He was born February 12, 1937 in San Diego, who went on to enlist in the Army in 55, just 18 years old. He would then qualify for Special Forces in 57 and join the CIA in 59. He would then go on to raid the Rebirth Island, capture Vikor Kuzmin, and even stab Kuzmin's left eye in revenge. In the early 80s, he ran a Perseus manhunt, used MK-Ultra conditioning to craft an asset called Bell, and later worked at the Cradle program in Kentucky, though this part remains murky. After the Panama scandal, Adler would be implicated as a mole working for drug lord Menendez. He would simply go off the radar and eventually lead an off-the-book rogue group from a safe house to hunt the Pantheon. These would ultimately absolve him and his team. Now Adler is a psychopath who will do anything it takes to get the job done. He broke Bell's mind to reprogram him and then kill him once he became useless. Other instances include him killing a seemingly unarmed and harmless soldier in Iraq, and when pressed he uses deflection to push forward. Unlike other members like Mason and Woods or even Hudson, Adler is not just a gunslinger. He is essentially one of the most effective field strategists of CIA who has a deep bag of tricks from the MK-Ultra to advanced technologies and applications. Despite being in just 2 main Call of Duty games, Adler is one of the most memorable, albeit morally ambiguous guy.